And joining me right now here on a Friday to make our NFL divisional round picks for the weekend. He joined me last week. We both went 3-3. He is my brother, Andrew Moses. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing great. A little caveat with that 3-3. My son, who is 7 years old, who plays Madden NFL 25, he went 4-2 last week.
Oh, well, maybe
So
we should get him on.
we
Maybe that's
should
what we
get
could
him
do.
on.
Well, I went with you last week where you're like, you know what? I'm going to take Denver in the upset. I was like, I'll go with you on that pick. Never again. I'll never take your picks. Never.
You learn your lesson.
Yeah, that's why we lost to your son who's 7 years old. All right, this is the problem.
I didn't know the Broncos couldn't catch the ball. I was
Neither
watching
did
that
they.
game. I was like, oh, I would not have picked you if I didn't know that.
All right, so are you ready to make your picks then here on a Friday?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Here's where we go. We first go to Kansas City, the two-time defending Super Bowl champions who also have Taylor Swift on their side. They are going to the Chiefs host the Houston Texans, 4:30 on ESPN ABC. Kansas City, 8-point favorite. Over-under is 41.5. What do you think of this game, Andrew?
Well, I think the Texans, surprised a lot of people, a lot of media people last week, including apparently myself.
Hmm.
Um, I think they played great last week. Um, you know, Chiefs at home. I think most of America is kind of tired of the Chiefs. I think
Yes.
a lot of people want to see the Texans win. Um, and also, I just want to say this week, football did a great job last week. Loved all the football. A lot of the pretenders left. A lot of heavyweights are left in the NFL right now. So this is the start of the first heavyweight matchup for the weekend, and I think the Texans. I would love for them to win this game. I think they're going to cover. I think the game's going to be close. I mean, last time they played, CJ Stroud and Mahomes both had good games, kind of equal. I think he might have thrown some picks though, CJ Stroud. But um, I like the Texans in this one with the points, and I think a lot of America would like to see the Texans win. So I'm gonna go Texans with the points.
Texans with the points, but you have Kansas City winning overall, winning the game.
I'm gonna go Texans. I'm
Oh,
gonna go
okay.
Texans.
All right, he's going all in. I'm going Kansas City. I'm with you. Kansas City, they've been playing tight football all season, a lot of one-score games. Kansas City by a field goal, but I'm with you. I think the Texans cover this game with the
Yeah.
eight, but I'm going to take it. So you got Texans. I'm going to take Kansas City. Let's go to the big game. You got this Saturday night. The Commanders, who won a close game at Tampa last weekend, they're on the road. They're at Detroit, the 1 seed. This is 8 o'clock on Fox. Detroit at this hour is a 9.5-point favorite. Get this, over under 55.5 points. So Vegas
Yeah.
thinks a lot of points are scoring in this game. Who do you like, Andrew?
The last hope for the NFC North, the Detroit Lions, great season. Is there going to be any defense? The Commanders and the Bucks game last week drove me crazy. I picked the Bucks. They were up in the fourth quarter, had the fumble, and then
Yeah.
Washington scored the touchdown. Not really impressed with either team, so I'm going to go Lions are going to win the game. Point spread's hard. I mean, this is Ben Johnson's show. This is him. The Ben Johnson thing is really interesting to me. Everyone loves him. They love the offensive ability of him, the play calling, the ingenuity. Can it keep going? I feel like this game it will, and I think the Lions are going to win the game. Covering, who knows? It's probably going to be a high scoring game. Um, Jaden Daniels might win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He can make plays, but really wasn't super impressed by last game. So I think Lions win the game. Covering, no idea. Who knows?
Are they going to cover or not? Make your pick.
Uh, yeah, I think they
Okay.
will.
He's saying,
They
all
will.
right, I'm taking the Lions as well. Um, I say they cover this. All right. So you say, yes, we're going to agree on that game. My thing is, I made this joke earlier in the week, Andrew. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think the Lions are probably going to win this game, and then let's say they lose the next game, and it'll be one of the dumbest offensive game plans of all time, and then our Bears will hire him. That's exactly my pick. Right when he screws up, this is our guy. And also kind of like Ben Johnson, he's turned into this Bollywood character where everyone's like, he's the offensive genius. We've got to get him. Like he's number one on everyone's coaching list. He hasn't won anything. Okay, he got the Lions up to become the number one seed in 2 years. They still haven't won any championships. Like they haven't done anything in theory, but everyone wants him. That's why I get a little hesitant with Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I mean, Dan Campbell, he gets all the credit. It's curious to see who gets the credit in Detroit. Campbell with the turnaround, Ben Johnson, who's really going, hey, I'm going for fourth. These fourth down and whatever they're going for it. They want to give their team positive momentum in all these games. Yeah, like what happens if they go for it on fourth down 3 times and miss it,
Well,
lose
both
the
teams,
game?
see,
Yeah.
we have the over under of 55.5. So again, people think it's gonna be a high scoring game. What's the over under combine both these teams going for fourth down? Because last week Washington went like 4 different times. And like you said, Dan, I'm going to say over under 4 times combined for the two teams. Would you go the over under on that? Fourth down conversions or attempts, really?
Or attempts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both teams warrant that. I mean, I wouldn't bet that because it's just a crapshoot of is it possible? But both teams, I can see going for it, and I can see it blowing up for the Lions or being positive. It's possible either way, and I think the Lions will be aggressive. Everyone's kind of down on their defense, so I think in these kind of short, 4th and 2, 4th and 3, close to the end zone, I think they're probably just going to go for it. Why not?
This is my advice for Detroit. You've got to come out and start throwing haymakers. We saw this last week with the game against Tampa Bay. The first quarter and a half, Tampa Bay, they're flexing their muscle. They look like, oh, we're going to win this game, and they're dominating. And you look at the scoreboard, and it's 3-0. And they just let the Commanders stick around. I think if Washington can get to the fourth quarter, I think they can win this game. Like, I think Detroit, the key to this game for me is that first half. If Detroit comes out like they did against Minnesota and started just haymaker, touchdown, this game's over. But if Washington gets the fourth, I think they have a chance to win. Do you feel that way?
Lions have been prepping for this game for 2 seasons.
Yes.
I think they're ready. I think their offensive line is elite. It's built from the drafts. I'm jealous of it. I don't think they're playing around. I think they're just going to go for the jugular right in the beginning. I don't see this game being close. And
do you think there'll be no lines in the Detroit metro area to go to Fresh Market or Home Goods?
Yeah, they've been waiting.
I think you're good. And if they get the NFC Championship game, like if they host that the first time since, I think maybe 91, 92, just you could rob a bank that day. Nothing's getting done. The whole state is going to be watching that. Okay, those are Saturdays. Those are our picks. Let's go to Sunday with my brother here on a Friday on the Moses Show. Okay, early game to get it out of the way. 3:00 on NBC. The Rams and the Eagles. Philly by 6.5. Over-under is 43.5. They played this game earlier in the year when Saquon in Los Angeles, I think he had almost 300 total yards. What do you think of this game?
Yeah, they did have the previous matchup. I think he ran for 255 on the ground. It's basically can the Rams contain Saquon Barkley, and what is their game plan for that? The Eagles remind me of the Ravens. They're just going to run it. They're just going to run it down your throat. They have an elite running back. They're going to use them. The real question is, it's like the wild card with Jalen Hurts, like in the Super Bowl. He fumbled the ball. They kind of turned the momentum. Has Jalen Hurts evolved? Is he going to make the big play in the big game and win this game for the Eagles? Saquon Barkley's the wild card. The Rams, I picked the Rams last week. I think their offensive got healthy. The real question is, are they going to be able to stop Saquon? And I think he averaged like 4.8 yards per carry last game against the Eagles. against the Rams. I'm sorry. Um, that's the big question. Will it happen? I'm gonna go crazy. This is my upset. I'm gonna go Rams winning this
Okay,
game.
you also took the Texans, but this is a bigger upset somehow. Okay.
I,
All right.
I think so. Yeah.
He's taking the Rams. See, I'm thinking about going with you, but that burned me last week. I don't know if
That's
I can
true.
do that again. Um,
Well, the points are Eagles. I mean, you think the Eagles win by a touchdown? I mean, do you think the Rams are going to keep it close? I mean, even last week, Barkley's numbers. I know he kind of dove at the end. He almost ran for like he could have ran for like almost 200 yards last week.
See, it's so weird. Eagles should have lost last week against the Packers. It's such a it's I feel like this is a toss up. You're taking the Rams. I'm going to just
Yeah.
take the Eagles cuz they're at home, okay?
Okay.
And by the way, I can't believe that opposing fans they still go to that stadium and they're shocked
I,
that the Eagles fans are yelling at them. Like I can't believe it. I don't like what did you think was going to happen with these
yeah.
I don't get it.
That's not on my away destination bingo card to go to a
No.
Philadelphia Eagles game.
No, and especially a playoff game. Andrew, you've been to playoff games. You know it's for blood. Like there's no
Oh,
I try to explain this to people, during the regular season game, oh, we're gonna watch a game, but we're also gonna walk around the concourse and get something to eat and check out the fan store. Growing up, you and me have gone playoff games like no, you sit down, you only get up if you have to go to the bathroom. That's about it.
yeah. I remember we were walking to the Bears Saints NFC Championship game, and there was a guy who had the bear. He was dragging a teddy bear on a string
Yes.
by its neck and was just dragging it along. And no, it's not for the faint of heart. There obviously is a line you shouldn't be crossing,
Mm.
but it's playoff football is different. But yeah, that line was super
Man,
cross. Yeah.
it's like we got to be like Mark Zuckerberg. We got to be manlier. That's right. Let's do it.
No.
I've
I
told you this and our listeners, so you know, I thought I knew swearing, and when I went to the English Premier League, I was shocked and appalled. That's what I want you. I have never seen that level of swearing, and I hope I never do again.
and that's what I dislike the Packers. I was at Lambeau wearing a Bears sweatshirt. Not one person said one negative comment towards me.
Yeah, because they felt sorry for you.
They felt sorry for me. Like, oh, he's had enough. He's
That
had
guy's
enough.
been through it. It's like, yeah, that guy was in Vietnam. Just let him, just leave him alone. We'll salute him on Veterans Day. Final game of the weekend. Ravens and Bills. All the pressure on both these teams. And I can't believe Vegas did this. Buffalo is a 1-point dog at home. They got Baltimore by 1 with the favorite. Over under 51.5. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we talked about this game last week. Are the Ravens going to learn from the mistake from last year's playoffs with their play calling? I think I'm not 100% sure. I think they ran the ball 15 times in a row last week.
Yeah.
The real question, this is good. This is the great game. The NFL fans win, America wins. This is going to be an entertaining game, a chess match. Are the Ravens going to be dominant, and are they going to continue to run the ball? Featured the problem is Lamar Jackson's so good. He's running those RPO plays. TJ Watt had no idea who was going to have the ball. He's so dominant. And you go, okay, can I contain Lamar Jackson? Oh, wait a second. I also have to stop Derrick Henry. So I don't know how the Bills are going to do it. I don't really understand. It's going to be a great game. Brady, I think they were talking about last game, his offensive play calling and his tree routes from these like kind of 4 wide receivers on one side and kind of causes havoc. He's also my sleeper pick for can he come to the Bears? Can the offensive coordinator for the Bills come to the Bears? But Brady. But I think the Ravens learn from the mistake. They're kind of my Super Bowl pick, so I think they're going to win this game. I don't see how you can stop Derrick Henry. The Bills are a great team. It's going to be entertaining. You can be talked into either side. I'm going to go Ravens winning this game.
I am taking the Ravens as well. And by the way, my picks are on an actual thing I sold to a client the other day. That's how lazy I am, trying to write down picks for us. I'm taking the Ravens. I've said this for 12 months. America deserves a rematch of the AFC Championship game from last year. I think we get Ravens Chiefs Part 2. I think Derrick Henry is the difference. Will Haley Steinfeld, will she be in the stands cheering on her fiance?
I hope so. I
My
don't.
question, okay, so my real question is, yes, I've seen all three I can't even say it, Pitch Perfect movies, even though she's not in the first one. The fact that I know that, I should get the Academy Award. No, my real question is, okay, this is it for both these teams. They have to win this game. So all the emotion is going to be in this. Someone's going to win, but then you're not going to the Super Bowl. Then you have to play another game. You're taking Houston, but I'm taking my hypothetical. I'm going to Kansas City. So let's say you're Baltimore. Yay, we beat the Bills. But then you have to go to Arrowhead. And then there's the final boss. My thing is, you can't show everything in this game. You have to win and keep something in the tank for next week. That's why it's like they could win. I'll just say this happened I think 2 or 3 years ago where Buffalo beat what was it? No, Kansas City beat Buffalo in the shootout game, then lost to Cincinnati the next week. I could see that being in play. How about you?
I'd probably disagree. I think I would assume I would pick the Ravens over the Chiefs even in Arrowhead. So I think this game is probably more aligned with who I think will win the AFC. So
okay,
if it was Chiefs, if it was the Chiefs, if the Texans somehow just go to another gear, then that's a whole nother conversation. But I would pick the Ravens and the Bills over the Chiefs. But if the Texans somehow pull it out and their defense goes crazy again and CJ Stroud plays well, then that's a whole different conversation. But yeah.
In your scenario, we'll end with this. Let's say Houston wins. Then the winner of Buffalo Baltimore hosts the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. America wins. Yeah, America wins. The NFL wins.
Yes,
these are great matchups.
Champagne. We're popping. I'm not kidding. We're popping champagne if the Chiefs lose. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
The NFL playoffs really brings out your self-delusion of your own team. I just want to say that. I've been texting you, watching the playoffs last week. The Bears were their record. If the Bears were in the playoffs, they would have given up 500 yards to Derrick Henry. I think you kind of do some self-reflection on your own team and go, what? We are nowhere near this level of competition. So I think the games have been great. Yeah.
I have something to tell you. Your team has not won a playoff game in 14 years. Okay, like
was it?
What's up?
I think it was Chicago, Seattle.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It's funny. The Jets. I saw a clip last night where it's the famous one where the Jets win at New England, and Bart Scott's like, "Can't wait." Yeah, I didn't believe us, and I was like, you know what? They never won another playoff game since then. That was 14 years ago as well. They make fun of the Dolphins. They haven't won in, I think, 24 years. It's like, oh, you guys are terrible. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. My team, it's a bar mitzvah and a year on top of that. Like, it's not good. All right. You are locked in. You have Houston, Detroit, LA, and Baltimore. I'm going Kansas City, Detroit, Philly, and I'm taking Baltimore. Those are our picks. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I got a packed weekend. I got coaching basketball, birthday parties, and the NFL. I'm excited.
That's right, baby. Have a great weekend.
All right, thanks.